When you click on the option for Edit League Profile, this is the page you'll see. Now bear with me for a second and we'll put that page up. Now this page will allow an administrator to modify the workings of the league. The league name can be changed here. The contact person can be selected from this drop-down box. If you change the contact person, make sure the selected person is coded as an administrator in their profile. The next option selects the day of the week that the league will be playing. If you change this in the middle of the season, it is unpredictable how it will affect future pairings. If the league normally plays on Tuesday, but it rained this Tuesday and the league was able to play on Wednesday, you do not have to change this value. Just enter the scores as if the league played on Tuesday. Next, set up the start and end months for the season. The season must fall within the calendar year. For example, you cannot have a season that starts in October and ends in April. If you're in a warm weather climate, you may want to play every month by setting up the start month to January and the end month to December. If you're in a colder climate, you would want to make a shorter season during the warmer months, such as start in April and end in October. The next option is important and could be modified at any time. Player handicaps are league handicaps and is not affected by rounds played outside the league. If players would like to maintain a GIN handicap, that's their business, but the league will only consider rounds played for league competition. This option asks if you would like to have the player handicaps updated immediately after each round, or would you like the handicaps to remain the same for the entire month and then updated at month end? Here's an important note. The league is divided into different flights based upon each player's handicap. If you have a small league, you may only want to have one flight for the league. You can set up as many flights as you like. The range of handicaps for each flight are determined when performing the function Set Up Game Descriptions. See that demo video for more information on setting up flights. If you set up this option to update monthly, then a player's handicap will remain the same for the entire month, and thus will remain the same flight for the entire month. If you set it up for update weekly, a player's handicap could change each week. However, if a player's handicap changes after a given week that puts them in a different flight, the application will not change their flight. You will remain in the same flight you were in at the start of the month for the entire month. Next month, the flights will be recalculated based on the new handicaps. If you select the option for Update Monthly, an administrator, after all scores have been posted, must select the option for Manually Update Handicaps. This function may be performed multiple times. If you should discover some mistakes in the scores and you have already updated handicaps, you can go back and fix the scores, then repost the scores, and then update the handicaps again. Now, your league has the option to allow player guests to be included in the pairings, or not allow them. If you allow guests, they may be added using the function for future pairings and tee times. Please see that video for performing this function. While playing monthly tournaments, a player must have a valid handicap to be considered for the tournament. A player that does not have a league handicap can play in the tournament but their scores will not be considered. You can establish the number of scores necessary to determine a handicap. Obviously, the more scores entered will yield a more accurate handicap. Now, after foursomes have been set up for a week and tee times have been assigned, it is very important for the pairings to be monitored. Players going into the option for future pairings and tee times have the ability to add and/or remove their name. The application is set up to send out emails whenever a foursome changes. The emails will only go out if tee times have already been assigned. Prior to the assignment of tee times, changes will not trigger emails. An administrator has the options to determine who will get the emails. The options are the captain of the foursome being changed and/or any of the current administrators in the league. When future pairings and tee times are generated, it may not be known at that time where the league will be playing. Therefore, in order to include each player's handicap on the report, a slope and rating is necessary. If the course is unknown, the calculation will result from the average slope and rating that are entered here. The league profile can be changed at any time, but it is advised to maintain consistency and modify the profile only when absolutely necessary.